Welcome back everybody to the channel. It's me, Alejandro Mendoza, or the Nerd Chicano. Either way how you say it, it's all good here. And we're back again for another video as we look at another film in my collection. And today we're going to be looking at one of my favorite movies of all time from one of my favorite directors. We talked about him a couple of weeks ago now. And today we're looking at his Palme d'Or winning film. I'm talking about Abbas Kiarostami's 1997 film, Taste of Cherry, from the Criterion Collection on Blu-ray. I hope this video finds everybody well, and I hope that everyone's having a good day. They're happy, healthy, and in good spirits. Of course, I've been enjoying making the videos, and today we're talking about such an amazing film, a film that I believe to be one of the greatest films of all time, and definitely a film that I recommend everybody watches. Abbas Kiarostami is one of the greatest filmmakers of all time, and he's one of the people who truly understands the most intricate characteristics of cinema. And today we're going to be looking at this film. But of course, if you haven't subscribed and you like physical media, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click that notification bell so you don't miss a single piece of content that drops on the channel. Leave a like on the video, and if you'd like to lend an extra helping hand, even though it's not mandatory but it is appreciated, I do have a Patreon set up over at patreon.com/thenerdchicano, where you can get early access to videos just like the one you're watching right now, and video essays. I have 2 up on the channel, and I'm currently working on the next ones. But of course, it is appreciated, but it's not mandatory by any means. I just appreciate you all tuning into these videos. Now, let's talk about this incredible film from the Iranian auteur, Abbas Kiarostami. Taste of Cherry. The first Iranian film to win the Palme d'Or, this austere, emotionally complex drama by the great Abbas Kiarostami follows the enigmatic Mr. Badi as he drives around the hilly outskirts of Tehran, looking for someone who will agree to bury him after he commits unalive, a taboo under Islam, extended conversations with 3 passengers, a soldier, a seminarian, and a taxidermist, elicit different views on morality and individual choice, operating at once as a closely observed realistic story and a fable populated by archetypal figures. Taste of Cherry challenges the viewer to consider what often goes unexamined in the everyday life. Included in this Blu-ray special edition includes a brand new 4K digital restoration with uncompressed monaural soundtrack, Project 1997, a 39-minute sketch film for Taste of Cherry that Abbas Kiarostami made with his son Bahman Kiarostami, new interview with film scholar Hamid Nafisi, interview for 1997 with Abbas Kiarostami conducted by film scholar Jamshid Akrami, program from 2017 on Kiarostami's use of landscape featuring film scholar Kristen Thompson, trailer, plus an essay by critic A.S. Hamra. This is the front of the film, this is the back, and then this is the spine. This comes in at spine number 45 in the Criterion Collection, and I almost just dropped that, I'm sorry, but yeah, number 45 in the Criterion Collection. Open it up and you get a pamphlet with the essay and transfer notes and acknowledgements and all those things, but it's a pretty cool pamphlet if you'd ask me. This is the inside, and in the back you have art and the 3 people that Mr. Badi finds in the film to try to convince them to bury him. And then of course you get the Blu-ray disc right here, and then the back is just this very dusty, arid look of the outskirts of Tehran. But yeah, that's the packaging for the film. I first watched Taste of Cherry years ago. We were doing an Abbas Kiarostami month on the Nerdcore, and Brad had actually selected Taste of Cherry, and we watched it, and I was blown away by this film. I can't remember exactly what number it is from the podcast, but I'm sure that you guys can find it. It's just an incredible film, and I was blown away. And we watched the version that was up on the Criterion channel, and it was the new 4K digital restoration that was up on streaming. But of course, time passed, and during one of the Criterion sales, I decided to pick this up because I wanted to finally have it in my collection, of course, but I wanted to see the difference between the streaming version and this on Blu-ray on my 4K player. And yeah, I gotta say, man, Taste of Cherry is one of those films that is unexplainably, perfect. I've said it before, I give a lot of 5 stars, especially if you follow me on Letterboxd. There are a lot of films that I, give 5 stars to, but it's rare that I can describe those 5 stars as being perfect. To me, Taste of Cherry is the definition of a perfect film. It has characters that you can connect with, characters that you can feel for, or, characters that you understand their motives. It has a story that never loses you. It's always progressing at a good pace. And then it has incredible cinematography, it has beautiful music, and it has an incredible atmosphere that's created by all of these characteristics to present to you an incredibly perfect film like this one from Abbas Kiarostami. Mr. Body's journey is not one that is easy to embark on, but the way that Kiarostami wrote the film and the way that he directs it really does allow the viewer to be a passenger within that car without being inside of it. And Mr. Body, as we see him, go through this journey, and as we see him, understand the motives of everybody who is denying him until we get to the last person who is willing to do it because of the money, but is trying to convince him to not take his life. And Abbas Kiarostami approaches that with so much tenderness and so much melancholy, but yet it's a very hopeful message about the little things in life that make it worth living, and the ones that allow us to wake up in the morning and see life as beautiful as it is. And I think that the film is poetic, it is beautiful, it is extravagant, it's every single cinema I can think about that could describe such an enigmatic piece of art like Taste of Cherry. It's a movie that I recommend everybody watches. It's a film that, to me, breaks my heart and it makes me feel for Mr. Body, but at the end it gives you this odd sense of hope that even in the worst of times there is hope out there, and that there's always something that's worth living for. Now let's go ahead and talk about this restoration. So this is a brand new 4K digital restoration. I watched this on my Panasonic 4K player on my TCL 4K TV, and I've got to say, my God, I adore how this looks. So this is from the original camera negatives. So the original 35mm camera negatives, they were able to do the digital transfer and upscale it to 4K. And of course it was the same thing with the audio track. They were able to take the track from the MK2 restoration and be able to, put it to this film. And I've got to say, the way that the orange especially registers in this film, the yellow, the red, the blues, all look incredible. Even those night scenes where at the end that you see it looks so clear and crisp because of this incredible restorative effort from MK2. They do an incredible job at being able to transfer what originally made it so unique to it, as you have this very accurate look into Tehran and you have this very natural feel to it, and it's presented by the incredible color palette. So this wonderful restoration is able to take all those characteristics and upscale it to 4K and give us this beautiful transfer from MK2 presented by the Criterion Collection. I really, really like the resolution. I think that the amount of grain that was left in the film is perfect. I think that it could not look any better, and they have outdone themselves with this. I know that this was one of the earliest films in the Criterion Collection that is in its final number 45. This is a Blu-ray upgrade, and for them to have it in this quality on this, I think that this is the best that this movie's ever gonna look, and I think that it's fine leaving this in Blu-ray because it looks beautiful. And I've got to say, MK2, just an incredible round of applause for y'all, because y'all did an incredible job at restoring such an important film, and a film that will live forever now because of this beautiful 4K digital restoration. Same thing I can say about the audio. I think the audio does great. It doesn't sound off balance. It doesn't sound like there's hissing, humming, or any popping in there. It's clear, monaural soundtrack. As of course, you could always put like a DTS HD master audio track in there. You can put like a ambos or whatever. It doesn't really matter. What it matters is that you put the proper audio track to accompany a film from 1997. And I think that with this type of film, it benefits from having this monaural soundtrack on it, which sounds really good, and there's nothing to really complain about when it comes to the audio. Nothing is too low, nothing's too loud, everything is balanced, along with the sound effects of the cars and the people who are playing out in the street, or the people who are working, the tractors. All of it is balanced with the dialogue, so everything sounds just loud enough and clear enough to be heard. I highly recommend Taste of Cherry. We are literally on the cusp of the July Barnes & Noble's 50% off Criterion sale, so when that time comes around, I highly recommend that you put Taste of Cherry in your wish list, because this is going to be an incredible film that you pick up. And plus, it's filled with all these special features. The one that I actually did get to watch a long while ago, because it's on YouTube, I didn't get to watch the other ones, but I really did like the landscapes special feature. It has a lot of really interesting, assessment, analysis about the way that Kiarostami captures landscapes, and he captures, so much open space to create this sort of feeling of relaxation and allow the viewer to be able to consume and analyze what is happening in the world of his films. He does this a lot in films like The Wind Will Carry Us, and films like the Kalkar trilogy, and it's an incredible piece of special features. So I highly recommend you all watch that. I think that's actually up on YouTube if you want to watch that, but I highly recommend it. I highly recommend Taste of Cherry. It's an incredible film, and I think everybody who is a collector of the Criterion Collection should own this in their collection. Of course, if you want to follow me on all things social media, I am under the Nerd Chicano on Instagram, Twitter, Letterboxd, Serialized, Twitch, and on TikTok. I hope you all go and check me out there. We can follow each other and talk about physical media and all things movies. Please check out the Nerdcore by following us at the Nerdcore_ on Twitter, thenerdcore.com, Twitch, and YouTube under the Nerdcore. We're working on some really cool stuff over there, doing some awesome reviews and doing some cool stuff on our Patreon. So go check all of that out. It's all under the Nerdcore. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope that everybody is safe, happy, and healthy again. And we will see each other soon as we begin this new journey on the channel, as we're going to be doing a comprehensive look through the rest of Andrei Tarkovsky's filmography. And next week we're going to start on Wednesday with Ivan's Childhood. The only other film from Andrei Tarkovsky that I've done a Blu-ray review for on the channel is Mirror, so we're not going to do that, but we are going to do Ivan's Childhood, Solaris, Stalker, Andrei Rublev, and everything else, even the ones from Kino Lorber, Nostalgia, and The Sacrifice. But stay tuned to the channel for all of that. And of course, to my wonderful cinephiles and renowned scholars, celebrate the love of cinema today, tomorrow, and every day after. Catch you all in the next one, guys. Bye-bye.